Hey Oliver, morning.
Good morning.
Where are we going?
Khampheang Phet.
We're going on a road trip. Yeah? We're going to see Toon and Leigh and the goats. You're going to feed the baby goats? Yeah. Are you looking forward to your road trip, Mrs. Wilson?
Yes.
Right, okay. You look scared. Why are you scared?
No, not scared.
Right, so we're going to Toon and Leigh. Why are we going to see Toon and Leigh? Because we want their biochar. Right, and this is Gavin's fault. He suggested we go and see Toon and Leigh. And we buy their goat poo.
Yeah, buy a lot, put in the truck at the back truck.
Yeah, we're going to fill our truck up. So, we look forward to seeing you, Toon and Leigh, on your farm. It'll be tomorrow morning. It's only about an 8-hour drive.
Okay, 500 kilometers.
But we like driving, don't I?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get on with it. Let's go to Toon and Leigh, Khampheang Phet.
Khampheang Phet.
That's it. And Porpeang Farm, Toon and Leigh. Say bye-bye, everyone. There you go. That's about as much as you're going to get. So bye-bye, Mrs. Wilson.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, then. Let's get on with it. Only an 8-hour drive. Possibly more, because no doubt Mrs. Wilson will want to stop on the way and, yeah, eat as they do. All right, let's go. Yeah. Right then, I'm with the legend. Can't believe I'm on your farm. Right.
Well, a few have made it.
Yeah, right. So we're looking at the crayfish. Right.
Okay, so it starts off with your broodstocks, probably the most important thing out of everything.
Okay.
So in here, you have a ratio of 1 male to 3 females.
And how big is this?
It's 4 metres by 1.5 metres.
Right.
It doesn't have to be particularly deep as far as the water goes, but because if you have a look here how big some of the males get, wow. You know, when they get on here and stretch out, they're there. So you want to be, what is this, 3 blocks high? Yeah. Just to make sure that they can't climb out.
I saw on your Facebook posts they were all climbing out because
rain. Yeah. So we didn't actually clean it out, but we drained the water down and just did a total water change. Right. And they were still acting weird as well.
Is that because of the rain season? Or
well, we haven't noticed it before. I reckon it's to do with the full moon.
Right.
Combined with we've been forecast really heavy storms the last 3 days, and they've not transpired. So things like maybe air pressure or biometric pressure, something like that, because they're all congregating down the far end and climbing out as well. So red claws can thrive in really low oxygen. So as long as your nitrates and things like that in your water is okay.
And how do you test the nitrates and stuff? Do you have?
Well, we just do a water change. So we take all the water out. You combine it when you're checking the females for berries.
Right.
So say once a month, we take them all out. The ones with the berries go in here. I'll show you another setup we've got for hatching them out. And then we just get the brush in there. What you've got to do is you leave your biofilm. So it's a very, very thin layer. No. It's the worst thing you can do for crayfish.
Skim it, clean it.
Because although crayfish don't eat a lot, they're almost continuously eating algae.
Right.
So you want a lot of surface area. So we've got like the laterite rock's probably the best thing. Surface area on your root systems and that sort of stuff.
We have a lot of that in our back of our farm.
So it's a far cry from a koi pond, but if you had this all crystal clear, It's no good for them.
Right.
Yeah, so we just brush it down and then refill it, and then all the ones that aren't pregnant go back in here. Sometimes if we've got some juveniles in another pond, or we've been trapping out on the grow out ponds and we get some nice females or a really good male like that one there, then we'll, yeah. So he's probably about 1.5 2 years. So they do get a little bit bigger than that.
How old are they before you start selling, eating, doing whatever you want to do?
Right, well, the main market in Thailand is for the Chinese restaurants.
Right.
And they want them at about 4.5 inches. So you're looking at about, well, if we sell juveniles, or craylings, very like 1 inch,
yeah,
they go to a grow out company and they'll grow them for about 4.5 months.
Right.
So really you're looking at about 6 months to get to that size.
Right.
And that's the most common size. Whereas your expats want them as big as possible, like a bloody lobster, and stick them on your barbecue. Yeah, which is what we do. If we ever eat them, it's always as big as we can get. So the money really is for the males in the food industry. For breeding, your girls are like gold dust. You get some really good females and they're worth their weight in gold. So, you know, a sexually mature female in their prime.
Really, is it that you need?
For your breeding, well, there's a lot in here, so you've got to be. You'll see all the pipe. You need more pipes than you've got crayfish.
Right.
So we've got about 25% more pots
What
than
I'm saying is, for a little start-up,
if you're just doing it if you're just doing it for yourself, really, a few of these, or you know, something like that tank.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. Or we've just bought some. Plastic oval cement mixing tanks, so they're a good size. We're going to start incubating eggs rather than actually letting them hatch. So we're just trialing. We're going to be trialing that because we've got a company that wants sort of like 250,000 eggs per month. So it's like,
well, if you can get that kind of business.
Yeah. So we're looking at transforming the way we're doing it.
This is one thing about you: when you start something, you do it small. And then you look for the market, you look for...
Well, we only did it really for posh food for us, because we've always liked crayfish from back when we lived in the UK. So that was the reason we got into it. And it was only then through doing the YouTube videos, people started just getting in touch out of the blue. And I think as far as Thailand goes, there was I don't know whether you're aware, there was a massive scam that went on several years ago, and it was like a pyramid thing where... They sort of like sold the idea to would-be crayfish farmers. They had to pay so much. They had to buy the babies from the company. Yeah. And then, you know, they were guaranteed like a really good return.
With many products like cacao.
Yeah. Yes. Cacao. Yeah. There was a guy just took all his cacao trees out after growing them about 3 years.
Totally abandon them. They sell them the trees. They do a bit of follow-up.
Yeah.
And then that's it. They leave them. Yeah. And these poor farmers, they have no idea where the markets are.
I think the nice thing now is with the crayfish, there's just a world shortage of them. So even, you know, Australia can't grow enough for Australians, never mind export to China and up there. So now, I mean, there's wholesalers in Thailand now buy every single crayfish you can produce. So
perfect. Now, worms. I've spoken
worms,
to you about your worms.
So a little bit slow, to be quite honest, but really we've just been sort of like getting to grips with it. I think we struggled to get them to eat the goat manure. I think they've been raised on cow manure, and then you're switching them over. So second generation worms, I think we're going to be, I mean, they're all right. It's just I was expecting a population explosion. But we've bought a load of these tanks.
Right, so these
and we'll have a look in the little while.
Lemon trees, but we decided to plant direct instead.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to go.
For the yield. It'd be okay in those. Yeah. But you wouldn't get the yield. Yeah. I love this crayfish stuff.
We have got all fish in these other 3 ponds.
So this is all crayfish, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many do you think you've got in this pond?
Not many now. Just really because we've taken anything good, we've taken out and we've got them, you know, ready for breeding. Yeah. So now it's basically we're
How
race
have you
against
got on
time.
with your land because it's quite rocky here?
Yeah, so it's a bugger to dig.
Yeah.
The old macro, you need a big macro, none of
Macro.
those medium-sized
Yeah.
toy ones, and it takes a little bit longer.
Because you've really had to go with the organic and try and build up the
Yeah.
soil, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I mean this is all subsoil. You can see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's horrific. In an ideal world, you know, you'd excavate and then you'd put your topsoil to one side and you'd throw that over afterwards. But it costs a lot of money to
It's
dig
huge
like
amount
that.
of money.
Yeah,
I know what I've spent on the 4 rye,
yeah,
you know, just to get that ready. So God
Yeah.
knows what you guys have spent.
yeah,
I'm not going to ask,
yeah.
but it's the one thing you've constantly mentioned is the trying to build yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, this is a lost cause, really. I mean, rainy season, this is all, you know what it's like out here. It's
Yeah.
just like a jungle. So to us, they're not really weeds. It's all goat food. You know, it gets trimmed and raked up, and it goes over.
How's the goat business now? Is it
We just got a
slowly
new
picking
all-time
up?
high for the meat price.
Oh, good.
For the bucklings. So they're our bucklings. So they're the boys.
Right.
And the prime market price size is 12 to 18 kg. And it's just hit 135 kg. So our regular
Well, that's
guy.
good. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
there was COVID and stuff. You
Oh, it
really
killed us, mate.
killed
Absolutely.
it,
We were absolutely on our arse.
Yeah,
Very, very nearly.
done.
Yeah. But I think we might, if we could have actually sold them,
You would have done.
we could probably kept about 10. But that's why we got up to 77 in the herd, and
I remember
know,
the videos.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was a real worry because the house was at bursting point. All the birth rooms were full, you know, so you get a lot of fighting. Feeding them was just a full-time job.
Yeah, yeah,
But now, so the meat price is great.
good.
What's the slowest to react is the nanny price.
Right.
So nanny prices were always where you made your money.
Yeah,
So to give you an idea, when we decided to scale up, like your nanny price was for a decent, still mixed breed, not a pure breed, 6,000 baht. If you're going to get a young one or an old one that's seen better days but could still produce, you'd still be looking over 3,000. And then just after COVID, if you could sell them, 300 baht.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember those
It's just-
videos. You
yeah,
were nearly in tears,
Yeah,
and I felt your pain,
yeah,
right? Because I know, like, how much you care about what you do.
yeah.
This is the reason why you and Toon are so well watched, because it's not just a business.
Yeah.
It's
I think
a
if it
way
was
of
just a
life.
business, we'd have binned it off.
Yeah,
But we love it, and because the land is, well, it's taken us, you know what, we're coming up 8 years almost, and the land had just been pillaged, you know,
Yeah.
it had been tilled to death,
which
sprayed
is
to death.
typical.
Yeah,
So you've got to spend your time
yeah,
regenerating
yeah.
that.
And the goats have helped that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see, I mean, a lot of it's eucalyptus, but that big bank of trees at the back,
And
we
you've
put
got
all them
your,
in.
Bamboo. Farm
Yeah,
as
so the
well.
bamboo's
Over
down there.
Yeah.
The palms are down here. We've got the canal that goes round the lake. And then the plan is, which we haven't done the video on yet, is we've just not long had the new crayfish pond dug on the island.
Right.
So that's the biggest one, and it's the right depth. So
Perfect
hopefully,
depth.
yeah. So they should be able to breed all year.
And
then
now you've got the deal with the eggs. Now you've got the deal with the
well,
eggs.
if we can
you
make
can
it
do
happen, if we can get our heads around the incubation.
Yeah.
So the guys, it's quite a big company. They came and saw us a couple of weeks ago. But the numbers they're talking about, you know, because they got massive bit of land, and it is all, you know, like the shrimp farmers.
Yeah.
It is just pond after pond, and you're not talking one rye pond. You know,
No.
4 rye
like
ponds.
4 rye square.
It looked about 50. You did satellite image, and it was just, you couldn't see the edge of the land. It was just full.
They're like that. I often go up to Patnaree, Samurai up that end, and when you go into the national parks, they've got all the shrimp farms.
Right.
But the shrimp farms are not, like you say, one little rye.
Yeah.
They're 4 or 5 rye ponds.
That's it. Yeah.
And there's this little hut in the middle,
Yeah.
where some poor guy has to sleep all day, all
That's
night.
it. Yeah.
Right, and that's his life.
That's it. The things that's holding us back now, obviously, the investment side of things is the land paper. So we can't really dig anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once it goes over to Chennai, I mean, I know they've got to come and do the land check and things like that, but you know,
Couple of
everything.
years, but they're doing it. They started doing
Oh
it.
yeah,
I was speaking to someone the other day in Chiang Rai, and his wife has just got the papers. So they are doing it.
Oh yeah.
But you know what
yeah.
they're like.
Yeah, I mean, Khampheang, as you know, the land is already going over. There's a lot of farmland around here, and there are a lot of small parcels.
Yeah.
You know, because originally there were 50 rye plots, weren't they, Suppagore land? We're the only one in the area, and another one behind.
You got about
It's 50 rye.
50 rye. That's a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
So, well, saying that, we only sort of like use 40 rye because 10 rye will let her mum, Toon's mum, do whatever she wants with. Yeah, so we've got 40 rye, you know, and probably 5 rye of that is water.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit more. It's very hard to measure it, you know, because of the shape of the lake. We went with the contours where the water flow, because the land goes like that and like that. So because we had a year or two here before we dug the lake, we could see where the water wanted to go in the rainy season. You know what it's like when you get the monsoon.
Keep hold of it. There you go. Is that fun? Yeah.
Everyone's got a name, even the boys that aren't with us very long.
I think it's amazing how you remember all those names.
I forgot one yesterday. It took me about half an hour. I was just like, oh. You know when something starts annoying you?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God. I've always prided myself on being able to remember the names. And it came to me. Yeah. It was harder when we had Bullseye, who was our Kalahari Red.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the kid goats were all brown. It was flipping. You know, I think we had 13 brown baby goats at one point. So
there you go. Is that fun? Do you want to see a baby goat? Yeah.
Well, we haven't got any really smaller than this, but there's girls out there.
The babies to him.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Let's go see all the girls.
So we've just started letting the boys out in here the last couple of days. It's rainy season, you can't keep up with the growth, and then dry season, you're just gradually using all your stocks up. So now we're letting them in here.
And these three, your palms, how are they doing?
They're doing well, yeah.
Good. They're growing.
The thing is, because we haven't got a car, we're not really into harvesting them for selling, so we harvest them, leave them for like 24-36 hours, and then the nuts are easy to peel off and give them to the goats. They're really healthy. I know palm oil gets a bad rep, but fresh palm nut oil is super healthy for you. You know, because it's the heat treatment that makes it unhealthy.
The guy that does the fresh palm oil near us. Oh, look at that! Here's the famous pond. Look at that, everyone. Right, Leigh, how many fish have you got in there?
Impossible to say. Impossible to say. Not a huge amount. It's stocked really conservatively.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of predators in there as well. So you know they do get picked off quite a lot. You know, so we can have fish like that will still get eaten by another fish.
Yeah.
So
natural selection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that goes all the way around.
Oh, it's a big old lake.
It is.
I think here you're probably looking at about. Well, we did it in two stages.
Yeah.
Because that's the first year or second year after we'd had it done, we had a triple dam break, and that's when the water came over the sides.
Okay.
So it's only gone up about another foot, but you can imagine. I mean, you couldn't see any land.
Wow.
And people were catching our fish in the rice farm over there. They were out in boats with nets. It was heartbreaking, mate. It was, you know, you could hear it. Look at the size of this.
And you weren't giving it back. Oh, look at all these, Ollie. I love that.
Oh, it's been
That is
brilliant.
a great
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Well, look at all these, Oliver. All these ladies.
And the big man at the back, Thor.
Thor.
Lucky man.
Hello, Thor. Yeah. No, don't know smell, do you? Yeah, just do that. I'll kiss you.
The little white one, she's very friendly. This is Marietta. She nearly died. She got the flu, and she lost all her hair apart from on the 4 legs. She went totally bald. So she wouldn't eat anything. All she'd have is a bottle of milk from us. So from that she's become very, very friendly. You go, eh?
Lovely, very friendly
She's
girl.
beautiful, isn't she? So we're running at in total we've got 42. Nine of those are over there. So 33. Of course we've got Thor, so 32 girls. Yeah.
Hello. Just say hello to the
That's Dawn.
Anybody
All right,
who's,
Jasmine. All right, girl.
Lovely.
They are. We made some tough decisions early this year, getting rid of quite a few of our elderly ones.
Hello, Thor.
No, that's Natasha.
Natasha, sorry.
Thor's the one with the big ball back over there.
Big balls. Hello.
That Spot. Jessica's the one that looks like a little deer.
Bless them. They're so cute.
Yeah, we only kept the best ones really, so we got rid of a lot.
I don't know how you sell them. I'd be like, nah.
I think now we've sort of we've nailed it really.
Yeah.
So before it'd be like me putting them in the truck and everything. Yeah. Now I'm just like, right, that one, and if I catch them, give them straight to the guy, let him take them. You've got to sort of cut the emotional side out of it. Hardest thing is when you have to dispatch them. That is horrible.
I've seen a couple of vids where you've done that.
Yeah.
And that was a hard watch. But
we've only done it once for food.
Yeah.
You know, because it was at the time we couldn't even sell the boys. The market had totally shut down, and we just had no room, not even over there. So we dispatched one, and that just didn't feel right. We didn't get into goat farming to be a slaughterhouse, you know. So we did what we had to do to get through the time, but it just works out.
Size of them.
Yeah.
Hey.
But when you got over 30 girlfriends.
Well done, son. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But by God, when they start arguing, you must be like, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it could easily smash me to bits if he wanted to, you know. But it's very, very important you get the right.
How many times a year do they breed?
Well, we do it slightly different to the way a lot of Thai farmers do. Our buck's always in with the girls. So if they're ready, he's always ready.
Oh well, look at that, yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you like in the US, you do it by the season, so you know you'd be looking for a kid in season round about your spring, but out here it doesn't really matter.
How are you?
He is friendly for a buck, but they do smell. Don't touch his beard because they pee on it.
Oh, right.
That's his aftershave.
Well, there you go. Maybe
that's where we're all going wrong, isn't it?
Now.
If you see the backs of their front legs, always dirty. So what he does, he pees that way on his beard, and it gets on there.
Right. Okay.
And then when he's after a girl, he'll start hitting her with his legs.
Pissing on yourself, son. Yeah. That's what we call brute in the UK.
Yeah.
We used to get it for Christmas.
That's it.
Yeah. There you go. They're cute. Soft.
Yeah, I mean, we knew right from when he was born, we were just like, yeah, he's made of the right stuff, because that's his mum there, Owen. So she's the biggest girl we got. So we were chuffed when we got him, because I mean, he was big when he came out, and then he was just so friendly from day one, and she's friendly as well. And they're from Brownie, so Brownie's at the back. So she's our oldest lass now, but she's one of the cleverest goats we got.
And I remember you saying there was a couple of other farmers locally that got goats. So are you the only one locally now?
I think there's one other in Pangsalatong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, it got to one point where there was about 6, and trying to find places to cut the catin.
Yeah.
Toon was even getting followed.
Wow.
So she'd be like, oh, she'd come back all buzzing. She'd be like, oh, I found a forest. The next day you got there, it's just all...
Yeah. Well, I've grown that catin actually on the edge of my farm.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind if goat guy comes on,
yeah.
but he never lets his goats out.
Right.
They're always in.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
that's more Thai style, really, keeping them in.
It's not really cool.
We don't let them out as much as we used to.
I wanted him to take him to my 5 rye and eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's free, just do it.
If your herd's not used to being out, I mean, these are quite a handful now because we got rid of a lot of our old ones, and the old ones, they spent their first few years out on pasture. Right. You know, every single day I was out there with them, so they knew the score, they knew the instructions. Now, we can't even control these.
So you're going to make all this into biochar? Yeah.
The other thing is as well, areas in there where we haven't got any catin.
Yeah.
So we put the biochar underneath there, let them all trample it down and that, and then we throw it where we want to grow stuff. But if it's an area that the goats are going out, it won't make it. So we sort of like break this stuff up and throw it out there. The boss.
Look at that. Hey. Hello, little lady. Lovely. Yeah.
I never thought she'd make it as a farm dog, but pleasantly surprised.
She's a boss.
Yeah.
So
in an ideal world, you'd have air stones running on each one, but you don't have to. And that's all you need. And every now and again, you just check the berries. What you don't, as soon as they start leaving her, take the rest off them and get her back out, because she gets her appetite back once they're hatched.
Okay.
Whereas, they hardly eat anything when they're carrying the berries. So Toon's just checked these today. So we had basically 6 pots with females in them.
Look at this.
So she's got berries underneath her abdomen.
Right.
And when they start hatching, we just let them go in here, and she goes back in the tank. So this is a little bit easier way of maintenance. So those tanks, those little plastic tanks, once a week we change the water. Whereas here, you just leave them in there.
Just leave them in there.
Yeah, you don't even need air stones running. We do just keep the air moving a bit. But they're harder to check like that. They're quite hard to grab and check. The hardest bit with the pregnant female is holding them the right way and firmly enough that they don't flick the tail. If they flick the tail, the berries
all over the place.
And if they detach, that's it. They won't hatch. And roots growing. That's the sort of media you want for baby crayfish.
Yeah, it's not overly dirty.
Yeah. So you don't feed them. That's what they eat, and then they'll start eating the roots and dying detritus in there.
Yeah.
And then once you see that sort of the made headway on there, then you can start introducing a little bit of food.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah. So the middle one, we got teenage ones in there, so they're about that big. So really, they could go in a grow-up pot. They could go in our new one. Yeah. But the reason we haven't done that is we're going to grow them another month, and then you can tell which ones are female and male.
Right.
Keep the females here, grow them up. We'll get rid of the males out there.
So then, that was Toon and Leigh. We got to go on the famous farm. thank you, Toon and Leigh, for your hospitality. It was wonderful meeting you both. And next time, we will be staying.
Yeah.
So, there you go. What did you think of the goats, Oliver? Oliver?
What?
Did you like the goats?
Yes.
And did you like Bobo?
Yeah.
People,
Bebo?
yeah, I love.
Yeah. So, we've been on the famous Porpeang Farm.
Khampheang
And
Farm.
we found it really easy.
Yeah,
So, I'm going to try and drive all the way home.
yeah, we not stay in resort tonight, but we just try direct go home, and now it's 5 o'clock.
And I've got a pickup full of goat poo
Yeah, at the back.
at the back.
There.
So we've got some goat poo.
It is called charcoal with
It's, yeah,
charcoal with the ghost poo.
yeah. So, biochar.
Uh-huh.
So, Gav from our channel suggested we go and get it. So we have, and we'll dig it in around the trees. And yeah, if it works great, we shall buy it on a regular basis.
Mhm.
So there you go, bit of a day trip.
Yeah, day trip 8 o'clock until now. We get here 3 o'clock, and now we go back home straight. It's about 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we'll get home about midnight-ish.
yeah,
And I'll stop off on the way, have a coffee. I'll be
yes.
all right. I'll be fine.
Okay,
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao for now. See you again soon.
bye bye.
Bye.